Did you enjoy the ads? I probably wouldn't have, but welcome back anyway. Alright, I'm gonna shut the fuck up because I don't want to continue this conversation because I realize how personal it's getting, and I don't want to continue this conversation. It feels emotionally abusive to me from myself. So, back to our original topic, I guess, time travel. I wish it was real so I could just go into the future.
I think for me, I don't really know if I would want to see what's going on in the future, because I'm like, what if it's awful? I go into the future, it's terrible.
What if it's better than you could imagine?
Well, it could be, but also the pessimist in me says, yeah, no, don't do that. You know? So I'm like, maybe I ought to not. But I do know that I definitely don't think I'd want to go in the past, because, yeah, read a history book, that's why. I mean, I don't know. I don't know with time travel. A lot of people have a lot of theories to it, and there's been a lot of movies, a lot of books and things wrote about it. But, I mean, for the most part, it's usually somebody is going back to change something in the past so that their present is better than what it is. That's the premise of almost all the TV and movies and books that deals with it. But I don't know if I'd want to do either of those. Sounds like a lot of responsibility also on one single person. You know?
Yeah. But at the same, I don't know. I wouldn't want to go necessarily back and change anything because, like, I know that would affect, like, whether or not I had my son and stuff like that. I would just like to go into the future and see if I'm okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's most people to be like, how am I doing in however many years? What am I doing in however many years? But also, at the same time, if you think about it, it's almost the same thing, because if you go into the future and you're like, dang, dude, I'm doing all, like, I'm not doing, like, great or something. It's almost the same thing, but I guess at least that way you can change your present kind of stuff you're doing or something, you know? Well, like if you got a health thing, you're like, oh, I need to get healthier now so I don't have this health thing.
Which I guess just kind of all leads back into the same thing. Like, if you go forward or back either one and change something, how much does that change who you're supposed to be?
That's true. And then it's, yeah, and like what you're supposed to be doing in this current moment, too. Like, if you change it, I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff, too, like butterfly effect type of stuff, where, you know, if you step on a butterfly in the past, it'll
cause an earthquake in Africa.
Yep, cause an earthquake in another part of the world. I think it's like the same kind of concept with time travel, so that's where I'm a little stuck on where I'm at personally. But I know that right now, scientifically speaking, as far as I'm aware of, there is no such ability, as far as I'm aware of. Like, there's no machine, there's no, like, get in something, press a button, there you are. That I know of. I don't know. They'll come out next week, but here's a button, y'all.
And, like, if it was possible and everybody did it, what would the world even be like? Because your perfect reality might not be that person, and that reality's perfect reality. Like, say you wanted to go into the future, or you went to the past to change something so that you could be with somebody different, or somebody you thought you should be with, but if they were to have the chance, they wouldn't be with you. They would go back and change and be with somebody. And I think that cycle would really probably destroy humanity, because nobody would ever be satisfied or understand life lessons, or, like, learn that, you know, sometimes you love people not because you want to, but because it just sort of happens, and you would have never loved or cared about that person without being who you are right now.
Now that right there, friends, is some deep philosophy. That's something beautiful. It is though. The thing, it's like you are who you are. You were born how you were born. You know you exist how you exist. Everything that's happened to you, past wise, good, the bad, the ugly, makes you who you are at this current moment. So I mean,
a lot of people ask me, like, if I could go back, would I change getting with my first husband? Let's just call him my ex from now on out, because I don't even recognize that anymore as a marriage. It was an old, it didn't even last. Like, it is what it is. I don't care. It's past is the past. Let's just call him my ex. Would I go back and change that and not get with him? And everybody, including my mother, gets very upset when I say this, but I say no. No, because the person I was when he and I got together wasn't that good of a person. I'm going to be honest. I was very cocky. I thought that I was, like, I don't want to say I thought I was better than people, but I thought that, like, I was master of my universe. And I thought that I controlled everything in my life, and that, like, I guess, like, I thought that as long as I was having attention paid to me, that I was somebody. And I based my entire life around my looks and how people perceived me as, like, this bad bitch and stuff like that, like a badass or whatever. And then that happened, and all of a sudden people looked at me as vulnerable and, like, a little weaker, and, like, I lost a lot of self-esteem. And then, obviously if you get your teeth knocked out, you're gonna feel differently when you look in the mirror. And, like, sometimes if I'm having a bad day, when I look in the mirror, I don't see what I look like now. I see how I looked right after the incident. And, we can sit here and we can try to be nice about it or play it down. And I want every woman listening right now to fucking pay attention. I didn't even look like a human being. When he was finished with me, I looked like a monster from a fucking movie. No, you couldn't see my eyeballs. I literally cried tears of fucking blood. My mouth was solid. Most of my face was just black and purple. There wasn't really anything that looked human left on my face. Not even my nose. So, when you think about how traumatic something like that was, but how much it actually made me a better person, it makes you wonder, okay, well, yeah, that was fucking awful, and it definitely fucked me up, but had that not happened, I don't know if I'd still be here today. That ego and that arrogance may have got me killed, Everything, I think, literally has to happen for a reason. No matter...
interesting way to view that.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. They're like, I would go back and change it. I'm like, yeah, but then I wouldn't have the son I have now. I might not.
Right. I feel the same way. Plus, it's like you can also take those experiences that you go through, and you can take that, learn, you can change, you can teach people, you can grow from that. That's the reason I'm very advocate about spreading awareness on things like that, abuse, any type of abuse. Like, I'm very much like, we need to, be open and help people, help one another. So, like, it's the same thought process. Like, you go through something, you take it, you learn, you grow, you change, you teach people, you help people that's maybe going through similar. Because now you can take that and take those red flags you didn't notice back then, but now, because hindsight's 2020.
No. I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there. For me personally, no. I'm fucking colorblind or something. I don't know, man. And I mean, I'm not talking about just in, like, romantic relationships. I mean, and you have seen this firsthand. I will give and give until there's nothing left to give somebody, no matter how they treat me. You've seen me do that to a certain somebody. Give them everything and more, do everything, be a good friend, be a loyal friend, always have their back, and then me have missed all the red flags. Like, I was basically at a fucking Six Flags and couldn't even tell.
I think that says more about the people that do it to you than you personally. You know, that's
oh, yeah.
just my.
But see, even that affected how I have relationships now, which I'm not bringing it back into what we were talking about in previous segments, but that's where the trust issues start really coming in as an adult, like having adult-based fears with trust. Because, like, it's understandable if you know me personally, you know my childhood, why I would have trust issues, especially with people closest to me. But then I got over a lot of that, only to have new adult experiences that would reiterate those same lessons that, not everybody who is your friend is your friend. And that terrifies me.
It is weird to think like it. There are a lot of bad people, and there's good people in the world, but there are people that do take advantage of people. So.
Oh yeah, and like it's almost like I attract those people, which might even say something about me, but for the most part, when I try to imagine what my perfect life is, I don't know what that would look like. I just know that, obviously I have a lot of ambition and I have really crazy, wild, out there fucking dreams. But, like, I think when I just look at it in 10 years, where do I want to be? And, like, this would be wild if in 10 years I'm one of the biggest, like, rappers in the world or something. And somebody comes back and they play this and, like, I'm there. But I just want to, at the end of the day, I want my son to be happy and have everything he needs. And I want to have, at the end of the day, a partner and somebody who climbed up to the top with me, not just someone I met at the top. Like, I don't want to lose who I am now and lose the values I have right now.
Right. A lot of people that get a little bit of money in their hand, they do that. They lose who they are, and they just forget where they come from. They do not want to give back. They do not care. So, I feel that. I understand.
Well, we're going to have to round out the first episode of Season 2. I'm very happy to be back.
Yay.
Oh, and I guess since you made it all the way to the end of this, I should let you know, hashtag fear the fucking research, bitches.